Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Bushido, and in this gameplay that you guys are seeing, this is not live. This is what I was doing. I wasn't going to record it, but I kind of wanted to tell you guys some more personal stuff. So, fair warning, this gameplay is not very exciting. It's just me mining. I don't even find any diamonds or anything. But I want to tell some of you more personal things because I think a good YouTuber shows more of their personal life, and it keeps their subscribers more in touch with them. So most of you guys I do see as my friends anyways, so I kind of want to tell you guys more about my personal life, of course. So if you guys don't want to know that, just don't watch the video. It's going to be boring anyways. I'm just telling you right now. But for the ones who actually want to stay, I kind of want to tell you guys about me and my girlfriend. So, if you guys don't know, me and my girlfriend have been dating for a little bit over a year now. And if you guys also don't know, I love her to death. Like, she is everything to me, and I would not want to live without her. Like, not in a million years. So, I I just kind of want to tell you guys about how we met and just like why she's so great and amazing, whatever. We'll see how much time we have in this video, but we met like in the weirdest way. So, in at my school, there was two things that you could do for lunch. You could stay in for lunch and basically have like your hot or cold lunch or whatever, or you could actually go outdoors. And I was a sophomore at the time, where it could be sophomores, juniors, and seniors who could go outside for lunch, but then the freshmen had to stay in no matter what. And my girlfriend was a freshman at the time, so she had to stay in the lunchroom no matter what. And I didn't know her at this point. We were never friends nor anything. But so what happened was I always went out for lunch. I don't think I stayed in that lunchroom except for like 3 days in the beginning of the year. And I hated the lunchroom. All my friends were outside. We all would hang out, whatever. And I have anxiety problems and stuff, and I just didn't want to like go stand in the lunchroom looking for people to like go sit by and stuff. So I had to make up a test because I missed the day before, and that was a test day. And my teacher said that I needed to make up my test that day, so I made it up in lunch. Well, I hated that idea because I knew that I was going to finish the test early and then I would have to eat inside. So what happened was I finished the test about 20 minutes before the bell rang. And I was like, fine, whatever, I'll just go to lunch and I'll find somebody. So I came in the back entrance of the lunchroom, where there's a back and a front, and I walked all the way back to the front entrance looking, scanning the room for anybody I could sit by, and I couldn't find anybody. So I went to the bathroom and I sat in there for a couple minutes. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? I can't find anybody, blah, blah, blah. I have anxiety problems, whatever. Don't laugh at me. But then I walked all the way back across after I finally got out to go get water with quotation marks around there. And I got some water, and I was like, oh God. And I don't know what my plan was or why I started walking back to the front of the lunchroom or the front entrance. So I started walking back to the front entrance, and then my friend actually called me over, and I was like, thank God. Like, somebody I can sit by. And he brought me over to this table, and I knew like two people there, and then the rest were freshmen. And he was like, oh, this is whatever, blah, blah, blah. He does this, whatever. And he was kind of like making up stories and stuff. And then he pointed to my girlfriend, who I did not know was my girlfriend at the time, because obviously she was my girlfriend, but my future girlfriend at the time. But I looked at her, and I remember the first thing that I thought was, I promise on everything that the first thing that I thought was, I want to marry her. And I have no idea why. She was wearing like a sweatshirt and jeans, a red sweatshirt and jeans, and I like fell in love with her, and it was so weird. And I just remember like looking back at her, but then like still like talking to my friend, and then like my friend actually said that my other friend who was sitting right next to her that they were dating, but he was just joking around. But that kind of spiked my level of wanting her a little bit down. But nothing would have stopped me, to be honest. But then after that day, the next day, I asked my friend who was sitting next to her, the one that he said that they were dating. I asked him, and I was like, "Oh, were you dating that girl?" And he was like, "No, we're just friends." And then I was like, "Oh, what's her name?" And then he told me her name, and I don't know if I should tell you guys her name. I don't know if she'd like that, whatever. But so he told me her name, and I was like, "Oh God!" Like, I honestly didn't like her name, and I love it now, but I didn't like it at the time. But I still wanted to marry her. I didn't change my mind after I knew her name. But what happened was, and then I went back outside that day. So right after that period, I went outside for lunch, and I was like, I told my friend, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this girl. Her name is," and then he was like, "Oh, I have a on my bus." That name on the bus, and I was like, "Oh, maybe that's her." And then what happened was he told me to after school to run all the way down the street, like all the way from my house to his house to see if she lived there. And this is like my best friend that I'm talking to, and he told me to run all the way down there, so I did, and I didn't actually get to catch what she looked like or anything, so I didn't know if it was the same girl. And I was like, all right, we'll just try again the next day. And we're like shooting basketball and stuff. And then the very next day, I ran as fast as I could. I was so tired. I ran like it's probably around, I wouldn't say it's a mile, but it's a really long distance in about like 4 minutes, and like that's the time I needed to make it there. And I actually got to see a little bit of her, and I was like, oh my God, that's her. Like I like her. And she lived like 3 houses down from my best friend for like her whole life. And I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. So what happened was, me and my friend, we actually walked past her house once, and I was dribbling a basketball, looking cool, trying to show her off my skills. And I saw that she was actually standing in the window. I remember she was taking off her jacket. I'm like a stalker, I know. But she was taking off her jacket, and then we walked past again, but going the opposite direction. And then she was on the phone, and I was like, and she was looking out, and she told me to this day that she didn't think that we could see her, but we definitely could. And then we walked past like 3 times, and she was still there just talking on the phone. And I didn't know, but her mom was like sitting on the couch, like she could like see us and stuff. And I didn't know that, and I wouldn't have done that if I could see her mom right there. But I thought it was like craziest thing. And then after that, we came past one more time, and then we took a water bottle this time though, and we started squirting on the ground, or I did, and I drew a heart. And then I was like, oh my God, like what if this is the wrong girl? Like what if I was wrong? So I tried to cross it off, but I ran out of water. So I was like, oh crap. And then we like ran back to get more water, and I got the water bottle, and I came back, and I could see that before, when we were walking back, she actually came out and looked at what it said, and I was like, oh God, like she saw it, like there's no point of crossing it out anymore. So we came back, and then I drew a cat, and I'm telling you guys, this was the best cat. I don't even know what I was doing. I just have anxiety problems, and I'm weird. And then I drew a cat, and then we ran out of water, so we came back, and then I drew my number. So I drew my number in the middle of the street, and it was like 30 degrees out, and it was like the craziest thing. But I don't know what I was doing. I just wanted her to text me, and so I drew my number in the street with water on the concrete street, and then I walked back, and I was like, all right, I'll wait. So I didn't get any text message, and I was like, oh God, like what's happening? And like 30 minutes pass, and then I was like, fine, I'll friend her on Facebook. So I found her on Facebook, and I friended her, and I was like, okay, whatever. And she didn't accept my friend's request for like an hour, so I was like, oh God. Or I don't know if she didn't accept my friend's request, or if she didn't message me in an hour, something like that. But she waited an hour, and her mom actually told her to wait an hour. And then after that, we kind of just like talked for a little bit, and then we kind of hit it off. And then like the next day, we I had her come over again. I mean, I actually like had her come over, and I actually hid in the shed, and like any other girl would have walked away. I swear any other girl would have walked away after that. She didn't walk away. So like after that, I knew that she like, she was like the girl for me. And then I walked, we played basketball and stuff, and we like walked around together, and like we were never really friends. Like I think we both knew, at least I knew, like there's no way I'm going to make you my friend. I'm going to make you my girlfriend, or we're not going to be anything. And I think that's what she thought too, hopefully. But I was trying to kiss her like so many different times, and I just couldn't, like she wouldn't kiss me because like we weren't dating and stuff. So it was December 26th, right after Christmas, when I finally asked her out. And we didn't even kiss that day. We kissed the very next day, but yeah, that was like how we kind of met, and like the crazy story like of how weird it was. Like I wrote my number in the street, and it just was really weird. But now like she means so much to me. Like guys, you don't even know, like it feels like I just met her. Like with some things, like I remember she used to be so shy, and now she's so outgoing. And I love that about her. And like I still think to this day that we're gonna get married, and we fight sometimes, but I mean every relationship fights, and I don't blame her, or I don't hold anything against her, or I don't think that she holds anything against me. But yeah, guys, that's like me and my girlfriend. That's the story of us, of how we met and things, and but thanks for watching the video. I understand that a lot of you guys probably didn't watch all the way to the end, but for those who actually did, thank you for watching, and that means that you guys are like true subscribers. Like you actually want to see, you don't want to just see the gameplay, you guys actually want to just hear my stories and my content and like what I have to say. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Shout out to my girlfriend because I love her, and I'm out of here. Alright guys, see ya.